Matthew 24, verse 40. Then shall two be in the field, the one taken and the other left.
And our team inside Libya, making its way to the hardest hit region there after the deadly and catastrophic flooding. Tonight, bodies still washing ashore and what they've had to do with so many victims in the rubble. Here's our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell.
Today, we travel to the heart of the Libyan flooding disaster, the city of Derna.
This is one of those moments, there are no words. I've actually got goosebumps seeing this. There are no words, just look at it.
Scenes of staggering devastation after record rainfall caused two dams that hadn't been maintained in years to break, sending a ferocious wall of water more than 20 feet high surging through this city. We've just come into the heart of the disaster zone, and I have to say it's totally overwhelming, the sheer scale of what happened here. You can see this is where the river used to run, but these were buildings right here. People were living here. You can see the remnants of one building there.
Though I'm deeply sorry to hear about the devastating flood in Libya's coastal city of Derna, which resulted in an overwhelming loss of life and displacement of thousands of people. In this video, I will show that disasters like this will happen more frequently as time goes on until the war. So let's read it again. Matthew 24 verse 40. Then shall two be in the field, one shall be taken and the other left. The core of this verse lies in its depiction of the suddenness and selectivity. The scenario described is two people going about their regular activities when suddenly one is taken and the other is left behind. Many people use this verse to advance the theory of the rapture, a moment when believers will be taken up to heaven before a period of tribulation on the earth. In this view, those taken are raptured to be with Christ, and those left remain on earth. Another interpretation is that this verse refers to the final judgment. Those who are taken are accepted into Elohim's kingdom, while those who are left face judgment. But is any of this correct? Let's see if we can get down to the bottom of these verses and therefore be better prepared for the end. It's a commandment that we are prepared and know exactly what's coming and prepared for that day. Now let's go read Matthew 24 verse 37. Let's go up a little further, go back to the top, and get down to the bottom of what we're reading. Matthew 24 verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, one taken and the other left. It says in verse 39, and knew not until the flood came and took them away. Then in verse 40 it says, then shall two be in the field, one taken, meaning that they died. The people that were taken during the flood died. So there is no more disputing this. If we read this correctly, Christ uses the analogy of Noah's time when the flood came and took them all away, meaning they died. Taken does not mean taken up into the clouds. It's an analogy for death. Let's read 2 Esdras chapter 13 verse 16. For I conceive in my understanding, woe unto them that should be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are left behind. For they that were not left were in heaviness. In simpler terms, those who were not selected will endure hardships due to the events unfolding during that period. On the contrary, those who were taken met their death as a consequence of carrying the weight of great burdens or being entangled in the clutches of sin, breaking the Most High's commandments. 2 Esdras chapter 15 verse 23. The fire has gone forth from his wrath and has consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, says the Most High. The commandments will be your key to survival. Now returning to the flood in Libya. While I genuinely empathize with the many who have endured losses, we must acknowledge that according to Bible prophecy, what we've witnessed is just the beginning. So let's read Jeremiah chapter 25 verse 30. Therefore prophesy against them all these words, and say unto them, the Most High shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar on his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. The imagery here in this verse, the Most High is roaring on high like a lion, a symbol of strength and majesty. The roar signifies the intense anger and the judgment of Elohim. You can connect that with Amos chapter 1 verse 2. And he said, "The Most High will roar from Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the habitations of the shepherds shall mourn, and the top of Carmel shall wither." All the prophets had similar visions about the day of the Most High. The shout as they that tread the grapes paints a picture of the ancient practice of crushing grapes with the feet in the winepress. It's symbolic of what we read in Revelation. Revelation chapter 19 verse 13. "And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Elohim." And you can also connect that with Isaiah chapter 63 verse 3. "I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them down in my anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment." So we see all these verses are connected about the Most High's judgment. Now let's go to Jeremiah verse 31. "A noise shall come to the ends of the earth, for the Most High has a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, says the Most High." In verse 31, Elohim's controversy with the nations underscores the day of his coming judgment. It's not against Judah and Israel, but against all flesh for their collective wickedness. The phrase, "He will give them that are wicked to the sword," reinforces the severity of the judgment. "Of two in the field, one shall be taken and the other left." In other words, he already punished his own people, but now it's the other nation's turn. You can combine that with Peter chapter 4 verse 17. "For the time has come that the judgment will begin at the house of Elohim. And if it first begin at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel?" It's important to see that the New Testament says the same thing as the Old. The judgment was first to the Most High's people, then to the other nations. What be the end of them that obeyed not? What be the end of the other nations that obeyed not the gospel? Now let's go to verse 32. "Thus saith the Most High of hosts, Behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth." The spreading of evil from nation to nation suggests a cascading effects of calamity, where one nation falls lead to another. The text highlights the parallels between the events in Libya and the global occurrences. These calamities often strike without warning, appearing random and unexpected, resulting in some individuals dying while others are spared. If you've noticed, the whirlwind or these spinning winds or these spinning storms are going forth from nation to nation. It says great whirlwinds will be raised up from the coasts of the earth. Now let's go to verse 33. "And the slain of the Most High shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be like dung on the ground." In verse 33, this verse offers a depiction of the aftermath of Elohim's judgment. The slain of the Most High being everywhere, unburied and uncried for, underscores the magnitude and the severity of the catastrophe. The imagery is intended to shock and serve as warning. Although the number of casualties in Libya is significant, surpassing even 11,000, only the Most High knows the exact number, that we are just witnessing the start. This is just the beginning. The day of the Most High will make what happened in Libya seem small. But ultimately, who lives and who dies, it is determined by the highest. Our responsibility is to follow his commandments, offer our prayers, and hope on his grace and mercy. Let us pray that we are counted worthy to escape all these things and stand before the Son of Man. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.